Next up, last storyline here. Shohei Ohtani. He started on the mound on Wednesday. He threw really well. What I want to talk about is, for the love of God, get Shohei Ohtani some help. Please. Shohei and Mike Trout. And I know I talked about this the other day, but I didn't even mean to. I just got sidetracked and went down a tangent. Now I'm doing it for real. Shohei needs help. Mike Trout needs help. This team has two of the greatest players of all time, and they stink. And that is unacceptable. Figure it out. Shohei the other night, Wednesday night, 5 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. He got the loss because the second Shohei gives up 2 runs, you know they're going to lose. They lost to the A's. He gets the loss, and this is what compelled me to really need to talk about this. It's what Shohei said after the game. He had a few different quotes. Shohei Ohtani on why he never wants to take a day off. If I'm healthy enough to play, I want to be out there. It feels like I can't really afford to miss games at this point. Well, one, that's a little alarming. The guy's out there pitching and hitting. You would only assume he should get an off day every once in a while. He's now saying, I just feel like I can't take an off day because we can't win. This is me. Shohei would never say this. Paraphrasing the rest of that quote, I can't take an off day because we won't win if I'm not out there. And that's a sad thing to have to think about. So he said that. He came out of the game after he finished pitching because there's a little injury he's dealing with. He didn't want to come out of the game, but hey, he said, I have to be out there. We're not going to win. He also said, in regards to the loss last night, after he threw 5 2/3, punched out 7 guys, gave up only 2 runs, looked really good. He said after the game, we lost, and it's because I didn't hit the ball well enough. Are you kidding me? I was like throwing stuff in my house. Can we get this guy some help, please? This guy's out there pitching great, and when he's not hitting, he's blaming himself not hitting for the team losing. This is just remarkable. The Angels are so frustrating. I am so frustrated at the organization as a whole and what they did at the deadline. Let's look at that. Okay? What were they going to do? Well, they didn't decide to become sellers until the last second. So then you look at what they did. Okay? Brandon Marsh was a guy before the season they had touted as the future center fielder of the Angels. Might I add, without even talking to Mike Trout about this, Joe Madden went to the media and said, yeah, I think I'd like to see Mike Trout play a little more left field this year and have Brandon Marsh in center field. Mike Trout's like, well, that's news to me. And no, I'm going to play center field, which is where I belong. Rightfully so. Mike Trout is one of the greatest of all time and should probably be consulted when he's 30 years old. It's not like this guy's 38 and can't move. He's 30 years old playing a good defense. If Mike Trout wants to play center field, he's going to play center field. So you tout this other guy as the center fielder of the future. You trade him at a low point. I mean, he was hitting .226 on the year. That's when you sell him? Not only did you say he was the future, then you decide to trade him away for prospects but don't get near as much as you could? That's interesting to me. Raisel Iglesias, you pay him 4 years, $58 million to be the closer. You trade him away on a month where he had over a 6 ERA. So now you have 2 guys. You're selling at a low point. Then you get rid of Noah Syndergaard. I just don't understand what they're doing. And I would really like it and appreciate it if they could figure it out so that I, selfishly, can watch Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout in the playoffs, and so that the rest of the country that doesn't get to see enough of them can watch the two of them win games in the playoffs. Mike Trout has played in 1 playoff series. 1. That is embarrassing to even think about. You have 2 of the greatest players of all time. You got to figure it out, and you got to get in the playoffs. I don't know what they were doing at the deadline. I don't know how to tell him, Manassian or the owner, how to run their team. But I would like them to figure it out, because hearing Shohei Ohtani dominate on the mound and then come off and say, yeah, it's my bad, I didn't hit well enough. Look, it shouldn't be on Shohei to pitch 7 shutout innings and then hit 2 home runs every single game. Can he do it? Yes, absolutely. Should he have to every single night if they want to win? No. And that's frustrating to see. I just get on tangents about I can feel it. It's something inside of me.
There's a lot of frustration in there. I get it.
There's a lot of frustration in there. Just as a fan of baseball and as a fan of Shohei, I want to see better. Thanks for watching. If you love Flippin Bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.